Greetings, YouTuber. You have entered the world of electrified midway gaming and streaming. And here is your host, all the way from the internet, Sly88Fry.
Sup, YouTube? It's your boy, Sly88Fry. Sup, YouTube? Sly88Fry here. Earlier today, I just premiered a 30th anniversary celebration of Sonic the Hedgehog by admittedly re-uploading an old Sonic the Hedgehog review of mine from 2015 from my discontinued secondary channel Broadsword Media, but re-uploaded right here to Sly88Fry earlier today, January 9th, 2021, to celebrate Sonic's 30th anniversary. And I added some new effects and even added some additional sound effects and stuff to make it different than the original, to also help celebrate the 30th anniversary as well. So I hope you guys check that out after you watch this. Please, that'd be awesome. I'll make sure to talk for a much shorter time this time around. I remember I noticed that last time I was talking for a very long time when I reacted to Jonathan Pie earlier this week. And I'm trying to get this to do what it's supposed to do. Oh my god, that was irritating. Alright, I'll put it about there, I think. You can see me pretty well, it looks like. That'll work. Let's watch the new Jonathan Pie, which is, this time it's Twitter bans Trump, which I think is freaking nuts. Can you play?
As we take a look at the last 4 years of a president who was never far away from his Twitter account.
Yeah, no kidding. He used it way more than
How
a lot of
can you
people
not
do.
be on Twitter, Tim? Twitter's amazing. It's like a huge library where you can read any book, any newspaper, anything you like. But as you wander around, everyone else in the library is shouting wanker or Nazi at you as you walk past. It won't be the same without him. You know, I'm really going to miss him.
Oh, sure.
Like a drunk uncle who's abusive and hilarious in equal measure. You know, one that forces you to sit on his lap and he's definitely getting off on it and it's vile, but you can't help but laugh at how small his boner actually is. Like he's got a mini travel roll-on deodorant in his pants. Banning Trump, I don't know, Tim. I don't know what I think. Trump has continuously used the platform to incite hatred and division and to spout lies, which this week boiled over into a fucking coup against America's democracy. And as that insurrection was taking place, he used Twitter to legitimize those taking part. In that context, fair enough, I guess. You were warned, get the fuck off my platform. But I don't know what I think. Some are screaming that if you don't think it's terrible he's been banned, then you don't know your history and you don't know the value of free speech. And others are screaming that if you're not jumping for joy, then you're probably a far-right apologist. What do I think?
I don't know.
I think it's possible to be somewhere in between.
I think
like
so, too.
Most things, it's more complex than that.
Yeah, probably.
What do I think? I think if you hang a despot, they become a martyr. My point, it plays directly into his hands. By banning him, you have moved the conversation from his almost universal condemnation to his supporters and him being able to claim victimhood. It's moved the goalposts at a moment when he was finally up against the ropes, which is a mixture of two sporting analogies and as such probably doesn't work as an analogy. My point is, I think in a week where finally he looked defeated, you have emboldened him and his supporters and those that use free speech as a cover for shitty behaviour and those that think there is a far-left conspiracy to silence dissenting voices. You have made them angrier and more determined at a moment where everyone surely needs to calm the fuck down.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this was the worst possible time to ban Trump from Twitter, when he had finally, truly lost the presidency, not just in law, but in the hearts and minds of most Americans. I think this is a win for Trump. I also think it won't work. Out of sight, out of mind, eh? Well, yeah, good luck with that. Personally, I like Trump where I can see him, in plain sight, not on some self-made QAnon far-right platform where most of us wouldn't be seen dead, so that the next Trump that comes along, we won't see him coming. But mainly, I think getting rid of him divides rather than heals. Them and us. I think it will achieve the opposite of what we want. It will backfire. It will breed the next Twitter, which this time round will have a right-wing bent and have Trump as its mascot, and it will become more and more powerful. Them and us. We'll have our Twitter and they'll have theirs, and never the twain shall meet. And there'll be no discourse, no discussion, just everyone hearing what they want to hear, which makes life much more pleasant. But ultimately, it's how we ended up with Trump in the first place.
That's true, yeah. That's true. Good point.
That's what I think. But what the fuck do I know? Well, many will say this couldn't have come quickly enough, but for some, this sets a dangerous precedent.
Wow. Yeah. I remember hearing about Trump being banned from Twitter, which I just thought was just fucking hilarious, to be honest. And goddamn, I was wearing a beanie this morning because it was freezing this morning, and I haven't done anything about my hair since. Probably should, though. Anyways, wow. I actually agree with Jonathan Pye. I didn't think it made sense to ban Trump from Twitter just because, I mean, yeah, it's just going to piss people off. But also because, like, so what about what he said and did? He did actually upload a video. I actually even saw it where he was telling his own supporters to stop storming the Capitol. It's un-American and yada, yada, yada. He actually did post a video of that. And however, what he said at the end was a little unsettling, that this is only just the beginning, or that our journey has only begun. It's like, what do you mean? Your presidency is about to end. He did promise a peaceful transition to Biden, but he said that. But then later, at the end of the speech, he said, our journey has only begun. Like, what are you talking about? You're leaving your presidency. What do you mean that your journey has only begun? He's implying something else when he said that at the end. But I will at least give him credit for actually telling the protesters to stop. It's about time he, would tell them that. I mean, because even his vice president, Mike Pence, was saying that the same thing already. Anyways, those if there was actually a new right-wing social media site that became really huge, I actually probably would go on it, even though I'm not right-wing, just to advertise my shit. But anyways, the fact is, it is expected that something was going to happen, but nobody really knew what it was going to be. At the very least, we know that it's going to be a peaceful transition. But all those Trump supporters who get on everybody else's case for complaining about Trump, and no matter what little they're complaining about, because sometimes they complain about very trivial things too. I'll say that there are people who don't like Trump. I don't like Trump, but there's people who don't like Trump who complain over very trivial things occasionally as well. It don't matter. But even if Trump supporters call those people out, you have no right to really do so, because you guys went so far that you actually stormed the Capitol building and people actually died. Like, you have no right to say that. You have no right to call out people who don't like Trump. All right? And, they'll do it even if they have an extremely legit reason and there's no defense to counter them, but they'll find some excuse anyway. Especially those people. And I'm sure a lot of them are people who stormed the Capitol. Like, that's just ridiculous. Why would... It's incredibly immature and honestly childish, to be honest, to react that way to a changing of the presidency. I mean, seriously, when George H.W. Bush didn't get reelected, did people do that when Bill Clinton was about to take office? No. When Ronald Reagan got elected and Jimmy Carter lost his reelection, did people storm the White House, the Capitol building? No. I mean, come on, seriously. It's ridiculous. People got rightfully mad when George W. Bush was being sworn in as president because I still believe that his brother, Jeb Bush, the governor of Florida, cheated and took away Al Gore's votes that would have won him that state and gave him to George W. Bush, but that's an argument for a different day, different time. And people are still discussing that like crazy today. I'm curious to see what Mr. Beat's going to say about this election, because he actually uploaded a playlist of videos of him talking about the election. He did all of that in from 2014 to 2016 up until that election, and then uploaded that one. And he said at the end of the 2016 one, "I'll see you in the next election, buddy." So I'm looking forward to what he's going to say about this one that comes out. So I do recommend that if you're into elections and politics and stuff like that. Mr. Beat's awesome. But anyways, that said, Twitter shouldn't have banned Trump. That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, it wasn't necessary. They didn't need to ban him. I mean, I get that what he did probably did break some terms of use or something, but I think it did more harm to ban him from Twitter than good. I mean, let him speak, let him be stupid, who cares? That's what I think. There's all kinds of people on Twitter who say dumb and stupid things, I mean, is Roseanne still on Twitter despite, what she said years ago that got her banned from TV? I never actually read what she said. I'm kind of afraid to be honest, because my wife and I, we binged the entire original run of Roseanne on a DVD collection. So I'm a little, and she seemed vastly different than what she said in that tweet several years ago. But anyway, that said, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to add me notifications. And now that you've finished watching this, please watch my review of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 that I uploaded earlier today. It's awesome. My original upload is well loved, although not very well viewed, and I'm hoping this re-upload with these changes I made will actually perform better than the first time, and will also be well loved. And a good way for me to help celebrate Sonic's 30th anniversary. Another way I'm going to help celebrate it, I'm going to try to live stream Sonic Mania on my PC. That I have the PC version, so I could live stream that. Unfortunately, I don't really have the means to live stream anything else from Sonic unless it's on my PC, because I'm still in an uncomfortable living situation. And also, I'm moving, so that's going to mess around with things too. But the laptop I can take anywhere. As long as there's Wi-Fi, I can live stream. So, anyways, as long as the Wi-Fi is good enough, that is. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Guess I went on longer than I needed to, but I'm going to end it here. What do you think about Twitter banning Trump? Was it good? Was it bad? I think it's bad. I'm kind of in the middle. I like that I don't have to hear his shit, but I honestly don't care if he has to say shit, because I don't actually follow his Twitter, so I don't really care. So yeah. I probably did more bad than good. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.